out a notebook filled with skeletons of rhymes. I've retraced our history 1,000 different times. I can describe the way the coffee tasted on your breath, or how the silence in this hallway feels a lot like death. I've got metaphors for shadows and similes for rain. I found a million clever ways to catalog the pain. But there's a corner of my spirit where the ink just won't go, a hollowed out confession that I'm too afraid to show. I can write about the leaving, I can write about the gone, I can write about the hollow ache of every single dawn. But my pen starts to stutter and the paper starts to tear when I try to find the language for the fact you're truly not there. It's the lyric I could never write, the melody too steep, the secret that I promised my own heart that I would keep. It's the one word for forever that doesn't feel like a lie, the bridge between the hello and the final goodbye. I can sing about the sadness, I can scream about the spine, but I'm paralyzed by believing I could never write. I try to find a chorus for the night you packed your bags, but the rhythm keeps on dragging and the inspiration sags. How do I rhyme the way the light died in your eyes? There's no poetic beauty in the way a promise dies. I'm a master of the almost, a genius of the blue, but I'm a stuttering disaster when it comes to the truth of you. I can dress it up in harmony and hide it in the beat, but the center of the story is a bitter cold defeat. It's not the I miss you, it's not the come home, it's the quiet realization that I'm better off alone. No, wait, that's not it. The words are shifting again, like sand through my fingers, like blood from a pen. The truth is too heavy, the truth is too light. It's a blind and impenetrable dark tried to say I loved you. I tried to say I'm sorry. But those are just words. And this is something else. cage is still empty. The cursor is blinking. I guess some things, but I'm parallel left unthinking. Watched you let go of the string today. Without a word, you just looked away. I thought I was anchored, I thought I was deep, but I was just a promise you didn't want to keep. Now the ground is a memory, the trees are just blood. I'm screaming for help, but I can't be heard. There's no gravity here, just the cold and the gray. Since you exhaled and blew me away, drifting in the wind. The horizon is endless, the silence is loud. I'm just a shadow attached to a cloud. I see all the lights in the windows below, warmth that I used to feel lifetimes ago. But the breeze doesn't care where it carries me now. It's broken the branches and stripped everybody. Wind saw a stranger in the window of a passing train, with a look of quiet longing that I couldn't quite explain. And for a second through the glass our eyes began to meet, a momentary kinship on a cold and crowded street. I reached out for a feeling, just a tether to the light, but the engine pulled away and left me standing in the night. It's funny how a shadow can feel heavy as a stone when you're surrounded by a million, yet you're utterly alone. It wasn't a collision, just a graze against the skin, a ghostly invitation to the places I have been. The air grew thin and hollow, the colors started to bleed, as I realized that a stranger had the only thing I need. It was a brush with loneliness, a shiver in the bone, the sudden sharp reminder that I'm walking this alone, like a cold wind in the summer or static on the line. It's the ghost of your affection that I used to call mine. Just a whisper in the hallway, just a footprint in the sand, a brush with loneliness I didn't plan to understand. I'm a portrait in the darkness, painted out of you, just a brush with loneliness and a memory of you. I went to buy a coffee, and the girl forgot my name, but she smiled a little crooked, and it felt almost the same. For a heartbeat I was human, for a heartbeat I was seen, before the silence settled back into the space between. I'm haunting my own life now, like a guest who stayed too long, looking for a chorus in a world without a song. I'm tracing all the outlines of the shape you left behind, in every silver mirror and every stranger that I find. It's standing on a podium built of all my regrets, while the crowd of my memories places their bets. I've mastered the silence, I've perfected the stare of a person who's breathing but no longer there. I've practiced the art of the midnight breakdown in this empty arena, in this ghost of a town. The flag is at half-mast, the anthem is low. I'm winning a race with nowhere to go. If there was a gold medal engraving, I'd be the champion of the year. I've got a doctorate in leaving and a symphony of tears. I've gone the distance in the dark, running circles round the flame. Now I'm standing at the finish line, just to whisper your name. The silver is the moonlight on your side of the bed. The bronze is the echoes of the things that we said. I keep my head down, I'm wearing the weight of a love that arrived just a second too late. Every I miss you is a record I break, a new world standard for a heart that can ache. They don't give out prizes for staying awake or for counting the pieces of every mistake. But if loneliness was a sport, I'd be world renowned for keeping my balance while I'm hitting the ground. If there was a gold medal engraving, I'd be the champion of the year. I've got a doctorate in leaving and a symphony of tears. I've gone the distance in the dark, running circles round the flame. Now I'm standing at the finish line, just to whisper your name. No cameras are flashing, no flowers are thrown, just a heavy metal heart that I carry alone. I'm the best in the world at being lonely, and I'd trade this gold medal just to have you back home. I wore a white coat to the altar of us, trying to turn our lead into gold, or at least into trust. I had the beakers full of patience and a steady, hopeful hand, mapping out the chemistry that I thought I'd understand. I calculated every spark and measured every sign. I thought if I could solve the proof, I mix my devotion with the volatile nature of you. The glass began to hairline, the pressure started to rise. I was blinded by the steam of 1,000 white lies. I thought I was a genius, I thought I'd find the cure, but the elements of us were never meant to stay pure. And it's just my heart's failed experiment, a lab full of smoke, a theory of forever that shattered when it broke. I tried to force the lightning, I tried to brew the sun, but the math didn't add up when the damage was all done. Now I'm standing in the wreckage of a formula gone wrong, writing out the data of where I don't belong. Yeah, it was a beautiful disaster, a reckless intent, just my heart's failed experiment. I'm cataloging the debris and the scorched marks on the wall, trying to find the variable that made the empire fall. Was it too much heat, or a lack of stable ground, or the way the silence echoed when there wasn't any sound? I've got notebooks full of maybe and a heart full of ash, watching all my logic disappear in a sudden blinding flash. You can't bottle up a hurricane or synthesize a soul, and I'm the one left shivering when the fire lost control. The hypothesis was simple, that you and I were one, but the reaction was over before the work had even begun. Now I'm cleaning up the shards of the life I tried to build, while the empty spaces in the jars are never quite filled. The negative result, system born. It's just my heart's failed experiment, a lab full of smoke, a theory of forever that shattered when it broke. I tried to force the lightning, I tried to brew the sun, but the math didn't add up when the damage was all done. Now I'm standing in the wreckage of a formula gone wrong, writing out the data of where I don't belong. Yeah, it was a beautiful disaster, a reckless intent, just my heart's failed experiment. Wash the beakers, turn off the light. The lab is closed for the rest of the night. No more searching for the gold, no more doing what I'm told. The catalyst is gone, the experiment is done. I check the list of things to do today. Pack up the winter clothes, throw the dead flowers away. I change the oil in the car, I pay the rent on time. I finally scrubbed your name from every thought of mine. I followed every rule for moving on alone. I blocked the memory of your voice upon the phone. I checked the boxes, I crossed every T. I built a life where there's no room for you and me. But when the sun went down and the house got still, I felt a ghost sitting on the windowsill. And I realized the one thing I didn't get done, the hardest battle that I haven't won. Oh, I remember to breathe and I remember to eat. I remember to stand back up on my feet. I remember to laugh when my friends call my name. I remember that nothing will ever be the same. I did everything right, I pushed through the blue. I managed to find someone halfway to new. But I woke up tonight and the sky started to blue. And I realized I forgot to stop loving you. It's like a habit that my heart won't let go. A pilot light burning beneath the winter snow. I can tell the whole world that I'm doing just fine, that I've drawn a permanent unbreakable line. But love isn't a faucet, and love isn't a light. You can't just flip a switch in the middle of the night. It's the background noise, it's the air in my chest. It's the one piece of us that won't get any rest. I forgot to unlearn the way your hand felt in mine. I forgot to ignore the stars when they shine. I forgot that I promised myself I'd be free. But your love is a shadow that stuck to me. Yeah, I remember to breathe, I remember to eat. I remember to stand back up on my feet. I remember to laugh when my friends call my name. I remember that nothing will ever be the same. I did everything right, I pushed through the blue. I managed to find someone halfway to new. But I woke up tonight and the sky started to blue. And I realized I forgot to stop loving you. It was at the bottom of the list, I guess, hidden under the clutter and the mess. I did everything else, I'm a success. But I'm still here and I'm still yours. I did everything except the one thing that mattered. I'm sitting in the glow of the television static, tracing every failure, making it dramatic. I memorized the script, I know every line of how you walked away and left me behind. I've told the same tale to the walls and the floor until the words don't even hurt me anymore. They're just echoes of a ghost that I'm trying to keep in a bed where the secrets are too restless to sleep. The ink is running dry, the pages are torn. I'm bored of the way that I've learned how to move. Oh, I'm tired of my own story. I'm tired of the lead. I'm tired of the way that I still let it bleed. I play the victim and I play the fool. I follow the heartbreak like it's some kind of rule. I wanna skip to the end, find a brand new glory, but I'm stuck in the chapters of my own sad story. My friends see me coming and they look at their watch. They know I'm gonna tell them about the almost we got, about the night in the rain and the look in your eyes, the same old hello and the same goodbyes. I'm a broken record in a shiny new sleeve, spinning in circles, refusing to leave. I'm the author, the actor, and the audience too, watching a tragedy starring me and you. I'm tired of the what ifs and the should have buys, of losing the game before it even begins. I've recited my trauma like a prayer in the dark, but it's just a match that won't catch a spark. Yeah, I'm tired of my own story. I'm tired of the lead. I'm tired of the way that I still let it bleed. I play the victim and I play the fool. I follow the heartbreak like it's some kind of rule. I wanna skip to the end, find a brand new glory, but I'm stuck in the chapters of my own sad story. Put the book on the shelf, turn out the light. I don't wanna talk about us tonight. I'm closing the cover, I'm setting you free. I'm tired of the person that you made out of me. Just so tired of my own story. I stood at your door with my soul in my hands, like a foreign traveler in uncharted lands. I spoke in a language of always and stay, but you looked through me like I was in the way. I left 1,000 messages in the space between, in the looks that you gave and the things that you'd mean. I was a heartbeat waiting for a rhythm to start. press into a locked up heart. The air turned to ice while I waited for the sound of a yes or a no that never was found. My love was a question you didn't want to hear. A soft "do you need me" whispered in your ear, but you left the room and you turned out the light and left me hanging in the middle of the night. No, I'm sorry, no, maybe no, it's over and all. Just the echo of silence bouncing off of the wall. I gave you my heart, a riddle, a dancer, but my love was a question that didn't need an answer. I'm reading the letters that you never sent back, looking for clues in the white and the black. Was I too loud, or was I too deep? Was I a secret you didn't want to keep? It's the not knowing that's killing me slow, like a fire that's waiting for the wind to blow. A cliffhanger ending where the hero just fades while the audience sits in the dark and the shades. You could have said never, and I would have cried, but at least I'd have known that the us in us died. But you left the is and the was on the floor and walked out the frame through an open door. My love was a question you didn't want to hear. A soft "do you need me" whispered in your ear, but you left the room and you turned out the light and left me hanging in the middle of the night. No, I'm sorry, no, maybe no, it's over and all. Just the echo of silence bouncing off of the wall. I gave you my heart, a riddle, a dancer, but my love was a question that didn't need an answer. So I'll stop the asking, I'll stop the why, I'll stop looking for the truth in a beautiful lie. The period is missing, the sentence is long, but I'm finally ending this one-sided song. Yeah, you didn't answer, and that was your answer all along. I'm standing by the carousel at 3 a.m. again, watching empty circles where the us has always been. The terminal is hollow and the fluorescent light is thin, tracing all the places where your touch had once been skin. Everyone is leaving, grabbing handles, heading home, while I'm waiting for a ghost in this kingdom of chrome. I've got the claim ticket crumpled in my shaking right hand, but the plane went down in a different kind of land. They asked me for a description, so I told them everything. The way you used to laugh and the way you used to sing. But how do you tag a memory? How do you weigh a soul when the part that's missing is the part that made me whole? Now it's just lost luggage of the heart drifting on the line, full of heavy sweaters and the secrets that were mine. It's a suitcase full of someday and a carry-on of why, circling a runway in a dark and lonely sky. I'm staring at the black belt, moving slow and moving cold, clinging to the remnants of the stories that we told. The flight is long over and the lights are going dark on the lost luggage of a broken-hearted spark. Maybe it's in Paris or a city we never saw, tied up in the red tape of a universal law. Is someone else opening the lock to see our lives? The photos of the mornings and the sharpened kitchen knives. I hope they find the letters that I tucked beneath the lace before the world decided to erase your pretty face. 'Cause I'm walking to the exit with nothing in my reach, just a hollow kind of silence that no melody can teach. Unclaimed, that's the word they used to describe my chest. A heavy wooden box where the tired spirits rest. I'm filing at the careful work, I'm signing on the line, acknowledging the missing of everything that's mine. But you can't replace a feeling with a check for $50 when the engine of the forever finally runs out of Yeah, it's just lost luggage of the heart drifting on the line, full of heavy sweaters and the secrets that were mine. It's a suitcase full of someday and a carry-on of why, circling a runway in a dark and lonely sky. I'm staring at the rack belt, moving slow and moving cold, clinging to the remnants of the stories that we told. one broken heart missing. I kept my secrets in a velvet box, but you didn't need a key, you just broke the locks. I gave you the throne, I gave you the crown, just to watch you smile while you burned it all down. I'm standing in the hall of the things we used to be, while you're busy
watched you write the chapters of your brand new life with a steady hand and a heart that's doing fine. I'm looking for my name in the bold and the black, but I'm just a ghost between the lines looking back. You're the hero of the story, standing in the sun, while I'm the quiet mention of a war you already won. I thought I was the climax, the turning of the page, but I'm just a background noise upon your stage. The ink is dry on the things you wanna keep, and I'm the secret that you buried way too deep. Oh, I'm just a footnote in your life story. upon a time that hasn't left you yet. You're moving on to volumes where I don't belong, while I'm a tiny comment at the end of your song. Just a reference to a heart you used to know, a footnote in the places that you no longer go. Talk about your future like it's written in the stars, while I'm just the explanation for one of your scars. If someone asks about the time you spent with me, you'll sum it up in seconds so dismissively. A lesson learned to phase, a bridge that had to burn, while I'm memorizing every twist and every turn. I'm the asterisk you use when you need to explain why you're so careful now when it starts to rain. I wanted to be the title, the cover, the theme, the person who woke up inside of your dream. But I'm tucked away in the margins, out of the light, the tiny little detail that you didn't get. Yeah, I'm just a footnote in your life story, small print at the bottom of your fame and your glory, a little star beside a date, a name you might forget, the once upon a time that hasn't left you yet. You're moving on to volumes where I don't belong, while I'm a tiny comment at the end of your song. Just a reference to a heart you used to know, a footnote in the places that you no longer go. Read right past me, I'll stay in the grave, just a minor character you threw away. No one looks down at the bottom of the page. I'm just a footnote, the part you outgrew, the small print of the life that I shared with you. I'm rewriting the history of you and me, searching for the logic in the phrase to be. I treated your heart like a permanent line, but you were a footnote I mistook for mine. I'm staring at the pages, at the ink and the blur, trying to fix a feeling with a broken word. I used a period when I needed a pause. I ignored the effects and I invented the cause. My love, life is a grammar, a redeemer, modifier of us, a misplaced modifier of terror, losing all the things I trust. I'm a sentence that never quite ends, a run-on of sorry, and can we be friends? I put the emphasis on the wrong part of stay, and now the meaning has just drifted away. You were the subject, I was just a tense, waiting for a logic that didn't make sense. I lived in the past, perfect, thinking we'd last, but the present is messy and the future is fast. I used an exclamation where a question should be. Now there's a syntax error between you and me, red ink on the sheets where we used to sleep, a dictionary of secrets I promised to keep.
is this mess? Just a silent letter in your address. We used to shake the windows with our laughter and our light. 1,000 I love yous echo deep into the night. We were a thunderstorm of passion, a crashing wild sea. The world felt small and quiet next to you and me. We yelled our dreams to rooftops, we sang them in the street. The sound of us together had a heavy, thundering beat. There was so much noise, a beautiful sound, before the silence started gaining ground. The love was loud, it was a symphony of fire, a choir of forever, climbing higher and higher. But the break was a whisper, a shadow on the floor, the sound of a key turning slow in the door. No screaming, no fighting, no crashing of glass, just the sound of the minutes as they started to pass. It's the silence that kills me, the lack of a riot. The love was so loud, but the end was so quiet. Now I'm listening for a ghost, for a footstep in the hall, but I only hear the dust as it settles on the wall. You didn't leave a scar, you didn't leave a stain, just a hollow kind of stillness that's driving me insane. I expected a hurricane, a final desperate plea, but you just let go of the air between you and me. Give me the anger, give me the blame, give me a shout to remember your name. Anything's better than this muffled goodbye, where the words go to wither and the echoes go to die. The love was loud, it was a symphony of fire, a choir of forever, climbing higher and higher. But the break was a whisper, a shadow on the floor, the sound of a key turning slow in the door. No screaming, no fighting, no crashing of glass, just the sound of the minutes as they started to pass. It's the silence that kills me, the lack of a riot. The love was so loud, but the end was so quiet. Shh.
It's the sound of a heart finally giving in. No bang, no whimper, just the loss of the wind. The love was a roar, but the end was just silence.
I've been driving since the sun gave up and sank into the sea. Just the dashboard lights and a coffee cup for company. I didn't pack a suitcase, I didn't check the air. I just needed to be moving to a place where you aren't there. Every signpost that I pass is a ghost of what we planned. But the map is just a hollow grid I no longer understand. I'm hitting every green light like a man who's on a mission, but I'm just a hollow engine in a state of late transition. The radio is static, the signal's lost its grip, like the way I felt your fingers slowly start to slip. There's a comfort in the motion, in the humming of the tires, running from the ashes of our burnt out holy fires. And I've got no destination in mind tonight, just chasing down the shadows of the fading high beams of light. I'm not looking for a harbor, I'm not looking for a home, just a stretch of open asphalt where I'm allowed to be alone. The needle's on the 100, but my heart is standing still, climbing up the ghost of the very unclaimed hill. I'm just a rolling echo of the man I used to find, with no destination in mind. I saw a motel neon flickering, vacancy in blue, and for a second I forgot that I was running away from you. I almost pulled the wheel, I almost turned the key, but I'm scared of what the silence in a room would do to me. So I'll keep the rhythm steady, keep the white lines in my sight, until the morning bleaches out the blackness of this night. The exit ramps are calling, but I'm passing everyone, because there's nowhere left to go now that you and I are done. Is it a journey if you're never going to arrive?
timeline we drew on the wall. Back when we swore that we'd never fall. The dates and the places are starting to fade, like a watercolor map of the plans that we made. I thought I was using a permanent pen, but the edges are soft and the ink's getting thin. I can see where the paper is starting to fray, where the pressure of forever just gave way. I built a monument on shifting sand, with a trembling heart and a shaking hand. The history of us was written in pencil, no heavy ink, no steel stencil, just a graphite ghost of a life we planned that I can't hold on to with an open hand. One little storm, one restless night, and the story we told is slipping from sight. I'm trying to trace what I used to trust, but the history of us is turning to dust. I remember the I love you on page 23, but the you is getting harder to distinguish from me. There are snaps marks where I tried to fix the mistakes, where the lead snapped off from the weight of the aches. It's a fragile archive of a beautiful mess, a memoir of a love that was anyone's guess. Now the margins are empty and the chapters are light, like we're being erased by the morning light. An eraser is such a quiet, cruel thing, taking the crown and taking the king, rubbing out the laughter, rubbing out the tears, until there's nothing left of the last 3 years. Just a gray shadow on a blank white sheet of the girl and the boy who used to me. The history of us was written in pencil, no heavy ink, no steel stencil, just a graphite ghost of a life we planned that I can't hold on to with an open hand. One little storm, one restless night, and the story we told is slipping from sight. I'm trying to trace what I used to trust, but the history of us is turning to dust. So don't mind the shavings on the bedroom floor, they're just the pieces of what we were before. Blow on the page, watch the words take flight. The history of us wasn't meant to survive the night. Just a smudge on the paper, nothing more. I'm hitting the ignition just to hear a different sound. Anything to drown out the silence you left scattered on the ground. I packed the passenger seat with the ghosts of our best days, but the rearview mirror is a blur of a purple lonely haze. I passed the diner where we swore we'd settle down. Now it's just another neon skeleton in a dying town. I'm driving toward a sunset that's bleeding out in red, following the ghosts of every word we never said. The GPS is quiet, it doesn't know the way to get back to the us we were just yesterday. Every mile marker is a year I can't get back, just a white line screaming on a ribbon made of black. And I'm on a road trip to regret, with a full tank of tears, driving through pulled over at a rest stop just to feel the gravel crunch. Remembering the way you'd pack a brown bag picnic lunch. Now the coffee's cold and bitter, and the air is thin and dry, and the stars are just pinpricks in a cold and hollow sky. I saw a car that looked like yours at the foyer to exchange, and for a second the universe didn't feel so strange. But the driver was a stranger with a different kind of gaze, and I drifted back into my own self-inflicted maze. Should I pull a U-turn? Should I head back to the start? Or is there no returning for a decimated heart? The asphalt keeps on moving, but I'm standing perfectly still, trapped inside the valley of a fading broken will. The engine idles, the wipers hiss. And I'm on a road trip to regret, with a full tank of tears, driving through the wreckage of our wasted, bloated years. The windows are rolled down, but I still can't catch my breath. The radio is playing a song that sounds like death. No destination on the map, no place to call my own, just 100 miles of highway and a heart made of stone. Yeah, I'm chasing down the taillights of the life I let get on this long haul road trip to regret. Out of gas, out of time, just a silhouette against the state line. I'm looking at the horizon, but you're not there. Just the smell of the diesel and the cold night air. Next exit. Nowhere. Nowhere. Haven't moved the hammer or the chisel from the floor since the day you took your shadow through the frame of the front door. We used to be a mountain, we were marble, we were grand, but the masterpiece we promised slipped like water through our hand. Now there's a block of cold white stone sitting in the hall to carve a life that would never ever fall. But the air is turned to iron, and the light has turned to gray, and I'm staring at the nothing that we've built along the way. Every word we didn't say is a chip upon the ground, a jagged little mountain of a devastating sound. I'm standing in the workshop of a love that went to sleep, with a promise made of granite that was far too hard to keep. And we're building a sculpture of our silence, inch by heavy inch, a monument to every time we didn't wanna flinch. It's got your frozen shoulders, and it's got my hollow eyes, a statuesque reminder of 1,000 quiet lies. No pulse within the center, no warmth within the grip, just a cold and jagged outline where the chisel has to slip. Yeah, it's beautiful and breathless, and it's violent. The sculpture of our silence. I try to carve a smile, but the stone begins to crack. There's no way to put the pieces of the thought together back. The dust is in my lungs now, and the grit is in my throat, while I'm trying to stay steady in this leaking stone-built boat. You're a figure in the distance, a silhouette of slate, and I'm just the lonely mason who arrived a little late. We've perfected the stillness Still set the table for two out of habit. Then I catch my breath when the chair stays still. The tea's getting cold and I'm losing the magic of believing you're coming back over the hill. I've memorized every crack in the ceiling, counting the minutes since you closed the door. It's a hollow, heavy and quieted feeling of a house that doesn't feel like home anymore. The ghost in the hallway are whispering low, asking me secrets I don't wanna know. The loudest sound in this empty room is the weight of the space where you used to bloom. Now I'm living in the echo, living in the past, fighting a battle with no hope or cause. There's a drawer by the bed where I bury the pain, next to your letters in the scent of the rain. It's a hollowed out canyon of violent peace, a debt to a love that will never release. Deep in my chest where the shadows are giant, that's where I keep your silence. I went to the park where we carved out our names, but the bark has grown over the you and the me. It's funny how time just refuses the blame for turning a forest back into a tree. I carry your absence like a stone in my shoe, a constant reminder of the distance we grew. I try to speak up, but the words turn to dust, falling behind in the wake of our trust. I try to fill it with music and noise, with the laughter of strangers and broken down toys. But the stillness is greedy, it swallows the light. It's the coldest companion in the middle of the night. It's not just that you're gone, I've accepted the end. It's the quiet that follows that won't let me mend. Now I'm living in the echo, living in the past, fighting a battle with no hope or cause. There's a drawer by the bed where I bury the pain, next to your letters and the scent of the rain. It's a hollowed out canyon of violent peace, a debt to a love that will never release. Deep in my chest where the shadows are giant, that's where I keep your silence. Shh, can you hear it? The way the air doesn't move, the way the heart stops trying to prove that it's okay. I'm not okay, I'm just the place where I keep your silence. We used to sit on the edge of the mattress at night, mapping out maps by the dim phone light. We spoke about them like a city we reach, a house on the hill or a shack on the beach. You said just you wait when the calendar turns. We'll be the fire that finally burns. Well, the pages all fell and the ink finally dried, and I'm standing on the later where we both lied. The future was a mountain we were promised to climb, but we ran out of breath and we ran out of time. Now the date on the screen is the one that we feared. The fog of the distance has finally cleared. You're not in the kitchen, you're not in the hall. The Sunday we dreamed of is nothing at all. I'm living the future we planned on the pier, and yesterday's tomorrow is a heart-shaped career. I found the old planner where you circled this week, with a trip to the coast and a kiss on the cheek. The reservation's active, but the passenger's gone. I'm driving the ghost of our plans toward the dawn. It's funny how later felt like a shield, protecting the cracks that we never quite healed. We pushed all our problems to this very day, but the us in the plans has withered away. We spent all our now building ifs and whens, rewriting the story with broken tip pens. Now I've arrived at the destination, in a house built of dust and failed expectation. The sun's coming up on the life we designed, but I'm the only one left to be left behind. And yesterday's tomorrow is finally here, but it's cold and it's quiet and it's perfectly clear. The one day we wanted is a Tuesday in June, but I'm humming the silence of a different tune. You're not in the kitchen, you're not in the hall. The Sunday we dreamed of is nothing at all. I'm living the future we planned on the pier, and yesterday's tomorrow is a heart-shaped parade. It's today, the day we said we'd be okay. It's today, but you're 1,000 miles away. The future's here, and it's just as I feared.
someday arrived, but we didn't survive. Yesterday's it's just today's sorrow. I passed that old cafe on 7th and Main, the one where we hid from the summer rain. I saw a couple laughing in our favorite booth, and it hit me like a cold, hard, bitter truth. We had the sparks, we had the chemistry, but we never quite became a we. Just a spark that died before the fire could start. A beautiful sketch of a broken heart. We were maybe in a world of no, a green light that never let us go. Oh, you were my favorite. What if the best dream I ever had to lose? The almost that stays on the tip of my tongue, the path that I didn't get to choose. I've got a gallery of memories that we never made, of a love that started blooming just to fade, of all the ghosts that keep me up at night. You're the one I wish I'd held on tight. I wonder what our kids would have looked like today, or if we'd have bought that house by the bay. I wonder if we'd fight about the little things, or if I'd be wearing one of your rings. But you're just a shadow in the back of my mind, the most precious thing I had to leave behind. A book with the middle chapters torn out, a heart full of wonder and a head full of doubt. Sometimes almost hurts more than goodbye, because you never get to know the reason why. It's an unfinished sentence, a song without a beat, a bitter taste of something that was supposed to be sweet. Oh, you were my favorite. What if the best dream I ever had to lose? The almost that stays on the tip of my tongue, the path that I didn't get to choose. I've got a gallery of memories that we never made, of a love that started blooming just to fade, of all the ghosts that keep me up at night. You're the one I wish I'd held on tight. So sleep well in the could have been, in the places that we'll never see again. I'll keep it tucked away, a secret sin, my favorite what if, where you and I win. Yeah, you were my favorite, always my favorite.